Hello, welcome to the program. You're watching the Gavel. I am Benny Ark. A request from President Bola Tinubu to the Senate for the confirmation of appointment of 5 nominees as directors of the Central Bank of Nigeria, among other requests, took center stage at the first day of plenary this week in the Red Chamber. Here is a report.
On the first day of plenary for the week, plenary commenced with a communication from President Bola Tinubu requesting that the Senate confirms, amongst others, the nomination of 5 persons for appointment as directors of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and Honorable Tadesse Rahim as the Commissioner of the National Population Commission.
I am pleased to present for confirmation by the Senate the appointments of the underlisted 5 persons as directors of the Board of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Robert O. Agbide, Ado Yakubu Wanga, Moritala Sagagi, Urum Kalo Eke, Muslimat Olayinke Aliu. While hoping that the request will receive the expeditious consideration of the Senate, please accept, distinguished Senate President, the assurances of my highest regards.
Afterwards, the service chiefs and the National Security Advisor were admitted into the chamber for the second time in the week. The Inspector General of Police, the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, the Director General of the Department of State Services, as well as Ministers of Defense, Police Affairs, Finance and Interior were included in that summon over the rising spate of insecurity in the country. After nearly 10 hours behind closed doors, the interactive session, aimed at decoupling the issues to get cogent resolutions, concludes.
Distinguished colleagues, please take your seats.
Leader of the Senate, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, then moved a motion for the security chiefs to take a bow and leave. The President of the Senate then announced the resolutions reached by the Senate.
Appropriations have been met and releases made, but the Senate urges the Honorable Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, who himself also gave briefing, to ensure immediate implementation and releases of all funds needed by security agencies in order to combat the insurgents, and also procure equipment to fight the insurgents and banditry in the nation to keep Nigeria safe. Thereafter, the security chiefs, with the National Security Advisor, answered questions from distinguished senators bordering on security, insurgency, terrorism, kidnapping, and other topical national security matters. The Senate thereafter commends Mr. President for his determination and focus on ensuring the security of lives and properties.
Meanwhile, the 2024 budget of the Nigeria Customs Service formed part of activities for the Senate during the last plenary session of the week.
The capital cost estimates makes provision for the completion of the Nigeria Customs Service new corporate headquarters. Then there are various other expenses that revolves around construction, renovation of the new customs cantonment, warehouses, barracks, housing accommodation, and others. There is also provision for purchase of helicopter to facilitate the activities of the Nigerian Customs Services. Then the service anti-smuggling campaign, using all required operational guides as provided within the confines of customs laws, will be intensified. This is to ensure that illicit trade that creates fear for revenue leakages as well as economic sabotage are reduced to the barest minimum.
The Senate also approved 706.4 billion naira as the capital expenditure for the service of the 2024 financial year.
President, distinguished colleagues,
The lawmakers also considered a bill for an act to establish the Northwest Development Commission. The Deputy President of the Senate led the debate for the consideration of the bill.
The establishment of this commission shall help to address this problem by educating this youth so as to develop the needed human capital to drive the developmental needs of the region in particular and Nigeria in general. This youth shall be assets to Nigeria rather than liabilities. The enactment of this bill will help to rebuild the Northwest Zone and shall provide opportunity for the people of the zone to display their talents and contribute immensely to the development of this country. Mr. President, in line with Order 76, 3 of our standing orders, the financial compendium for the establishment of this commission is hereby attached. I thereby urge my colleagues to support this bill for the second reading. When you develop Northwest, you are developing the entire country.
A moment of silence was observed by the Senate for the late Herbert Wigwe and 4 others who died in a helicopter crash in the United States after a motion moved by Senator Orwell Onyeso from Rivers State.
His dear wife, his son, and Mr. Gobanjo, in the helicopter crash in California, rest in perfect peace. Amen.
In the House of Representatives this week, a debate on the bill seeking for the amendment for the qualifications of candidates wanting to vie for elective political positions in the country was a major concern for members of the Green Chamber. Let's take a look. For the first plenary session of the week in the House of Representatives, a bill to amend the qualification of candidates seeking to be elected as president, governor, and other political offices was highly debated.
It can also be counterproductive if people who are not sufficiently prepared educationally get into these elective offices. Honorable colleagues, all the political offices affected by this amendment are very strategic in their own right. The state legislators are important for making laws to govern the state in the interest of the people. The office of the governor is the highest political office in the state. The federal legislators are important for making laws in the interest of the nation. The office of the president is the highest political office in the land.
Anybody who is going to oppose this bill must also tell us if his child, is in a university for a degree or not.
And understand what you are reading and come up with something. Look, Mr. Speaker, the world is moving. Let Nigeria not be left behind.
Mr. Speaker, for less privilege, we were privileged to go to the university. For less privileged people, it is not their wish that their children were not to be able to obtain university certificate or age equivalent. Substantial number of Nigerians are less than degree holders. And now you are saying only a degree holder can be enfranchised. And we end up disenfranchising more than 90% of our population. Are we fair to our people?
Sponsor of the bill was compelled to step it down for further consultation.
This bill is stepped down with the leave of the House.
Meanwhile, the attention of the House was drawn to the killings in Benue State as Honorable Blessing Onu expressed concerns that no arrest has been made since a similar incident involving 200 victims occurred last year.
Saddened that the attacks by the herdsmen are becoming more frequent, with the recent attack just few days ago, which claimed the lives of dozens of persons again, leaving dead bodies decomposing in farmlands and villages within the communities without any solution by the government.
The House then turned its attention to the country's 10.5 million out-of-school children.
Concerned that the actualization of promoting the right of education is bedeviled by issues such as low enrollment of children, particularly the girl child, low completion of basic education, shortage and poor quality infrastructure of schools, amongst others. Believe that education plays a crucial role in the breaking of the cycle of poverty and promoting social and economic development. also believe that to ensure the efficiency and protection of children, as well as security for a better future of the Nigerian child, swift action needs to be taken to address the education crisis.
The attitude of state governments to the menace is also a concern for the members of parliament.
UBEC will build a school facility for 500, 600 million, hand it over to a so-called governor, and the governor will let the entire building rot. In Edo State, 14 buildings down. One was built in Kogi. The governor refused to use it on the ground, the former governor, that he has no money to pay teachers.
I don't think the problem we have is funding of education. It's how we be able to judiciously use the little resources that goes to education effectively. I think that is the problem. If a school has been constructed, a clinic attached, a police station attached, everything is there and nothing has been done 10 years down the line, then there's a problem in our educational development.
In the meantime, following the increase of customs duty rate by 2.6% by the central bank, the House of Representatives is proposing what it believes should be a solution for indiscriminate exchange rate adjustment for custom and excise duties. While adopting a motion by Honorable Leke Abejide, the House believes that there is a need to rescue the Nigerian economy from imminent collapse and restore investors' confidence in the system.
Alarmed that the Central Bank of Nigeria experienced a series of exchange rate adjustments for custom duties within 6 months in 24 June 2023, the rate increased from 422 naira 30 kobo per dollar to 589 naira to a dollar, followed by 770 naira 88 kobo to a dollar on July 6, 2023, 783 1.74 kobo to a dollar on November 14, 2023, 951.941 to a dollar on December 7, 2023, and a double adjustment on February 2nd and 3rd, 2024, reaching 1,356.833 kobo to a dollar and 1,413.62 to a dollar, respectively, illustrating excessive fluctuations and volatility in the current market, raising significant concern about business planning and economic stability. Worried that due to the frequent custom exchange rate hikes, Nigerian importers are shifting towards ports in Tema, Ghana, Lomé, Togo, Cotonou, Benin Republic, causing a substantial 65% decrease in cargo importation and businesses' activities at the Nigerian seaports, with daily container examination dropping from approximately 250 to just about 80.
The House is also calling for intervention of the federal government in sports betting, considering its effect on youths.
Aware that the National Lottery Act 2005 provides for the establishment of the National Lottery Regulatory Commission and the National Lottery Trust Fund to ensure fair operation and protection of players, stakeholders, and the public. Worried that the weak or neglected regulations of sports betting has dangerously led to mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, and broken relationship due to lying or stealing from friends and family, financial problems, legal issues, job loss due to excessive loss of debts, increased crime rates, and eventually committing suicide. Disturbed that most players prefer betting through their mobile phones instead of visiting rental outlets in order to escape control and regulations. Also aware of the need to carry campaigns to prevent the negative social impact of lottery and prohibit underage participation. Right Honourable Speaker, I will resolve as follows: to invite the National Lottery Regulatory Body Commission to brief the committee on its efforts to safeguard the rights of sports betting players.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Gavel. Some 60 lawmakers from different political parties are sponsoring a constitution amendment bill to change Nigeria's system of government from presidential to parliamentary. This is the report.
Political parties are sponsoring a constitution amendment bill to change Nigeria's system of government from presidential to parliamentary.
These bills seeking to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, advocate a transition from the current presidential system to a parliamentary system at all levels, federal, state, and local government. The proposed alterations, which when passed, will significantly impact the national political landscape. Our founders, in their wisdom and in their political atmosphere, devoid of compulsion, and having considered the interests of their native peoples and their desire to live together in a country where truth and justice reign, where no man is oppressed, and where all citizens live in peace and plenty, adopted the parliamentary system of government. That was the governance of the first system of the First Republic, a period when legislative and executive powers were exercised by the representatives of the people in parliament and in the executive. And by the nature of the system, these representatives were accountable to the people. For 6 years, while it was in operation, the system worked for the country. The collapse of the First Republic and the long stretch of the military rule culminated into the adoption of a new system of government, theoretically fashioned after the presidential system of the United States, but in practice imbibed the utmost attributes of military rule. No wonder the Nigerian president appears to be one of the most powerful presidents in the world.
Meanwhile, lawmakers under the aegis of Benue State National Assembly caucus have urged security chiefs to rein in on the insecurity challenge in the state in order to curb the menace of killings or tender their resignation if they're incapable of doing so. They made the disclosure 24 hours after security chiefs met with the upper chamber for an interactive session on the worsening state of insecurity in the country.
Between December 2023 and February 12, 2024, over 500 persons have been mowed down in the attacks and properties running into millions of naira destroyed. On the 12th of February 2024, youths from all the affected communities blocked the Otukpo-Oweto local highway to register their dissatisfaction with the gradual condescending security situation. The implication of it being that the people are gradually gravitating towards self-help. The National Assembly caucus of Benue State finds the situation reprehensible and unacceptable. The caucus calls on the federal government to rise up to the occasion to stop further killings of our people. We equally call on the governor of Benue State to live up to her responsibility in engaging the government of Benue State to rise up to her responsibility in regigging her security apparatus to confront the menace, as not to do so is not an option. We call on the Nigerian Army to approve the setting up of Forward Operating Bases, FOB, in the affected areas without prejudice to the efforts made so far in fighting the menace of armed herdsmen attack. We further call on Operation Wise Stroke to take necessary steps to dislodge the bandits from the forest between Okoklo and Agagbe in Nagatu and Gwe West local governments respectively, to enable the natives return to their ancestral home in Ogumagbo and other affected communities.
About 40% of Gwe West is being occupied by bandits. The same for Goma local government and some other local governments in Benue State. Most of these bandits are not even Nigerians. I want to challenge His Excellency, the President, to do something about this. I am of the APC, and I feel embarrassed that non-Nigerians are in our forest, and the government is doing nothing about it. This is not acceptable. If we allow this, yes, the villages are taken over today, but I can assure you, sooner or later, the seat of government in different states will be taken over by the bandits. So the government must be very decisive about this. the bandits should be pursued to go back to their country.
Our focus this week is on the Honorable Member representing Yagba East, Yagba West, Mopa Muro Federal Constituency, Kogi State, Honorable Leke Abejide. He gives insights to ongoing projects in his constituency.
Common to every federal constituency. Number one, security. My people need security, and that's why I'm clamoring for the establishment of the military, apart from military base between Kwara and Kogi State, because there's influx of all these bandits now coming from Kwara State, Niger State, and into Kogi State, especially from my area, because of the mineral resources that is being discovered currently. Then, that apart, the welfare of my people is paramount to me. This I've been doing for years. Some people are trying to discourage me, but I will say no to it. I still take it as one of my core responsibilities, which I will not relent in doing. Infrastructural development, especially roads, is a major problem in my communities. All the communities, all the towns I represent, I find it difficult to even, connect to the nearest community. But since I came in 2019, I have done a lot in terms of opening up all these rural roads, and even the major ones, we have gone into rehabilitating them. Some are currently ongoing, some are virgin, that is new construction, entirely new. And by God, through the grace of God and the help that I'm getting everywhere, things are moving and then things are progressing. So the needs of my people are unlimited. If I continue to mention, look at our youths. Some of the youths are serious if they have opportunity of employment. And that's why you see part of the challenges we are facing now in this country is a result of unemployment of the youth. And I do mind is the devil's workshop. Once they wake up every morning, they are looking for what to do. It's very easy to engage them into all these crimes if they know they'll get something that will sustain them. So we need to look at all this. These are part of the challenges and the needs of my people. They are unlimited if I start to talk. What of education? I've been the one carrying all these responsibilities for a long time. So even when they go to school and graduate, they also come back home. It is just now I'm looking at how do we go into full mechanized agriculture so that we can reduce over-reliance on white-collar job. The skill acquisition, we always do what we call training, and this is on a yearly basis. So, and now I am looking at the best is to establish a vocational center whereby you can train as many as possible. Over 10,000 can be trained in that place, and they will be self-reliant. Some people, they are just, even you see some graduates, they graduated without any skill. No job, no skill to rely on. But if you have skill and the white collar job is done there, you can go back to your trade. And then that's why you see there is some little difference between some tribes in Nigeria. Like you see the Igbos, they believe in trade. That is teaching the younger ones to be self-reliant instead of looking on to government job. And that is the best way to go if one wants to improve in this system.
That's the program this week. We would love to hear from you. Please send us an email at thegavel@channelstv.com. Thanks for watching. I am Benny Ark. Be well.